is Miss Esco, and welcome to the Kink. Tonight's topic is the power of the P. Whether it's pussy or penis, what is your thing? We're going to talk about the taboo of, we're going to talk about pussy or penis and why it overpowers you. And I'm joined by my co-host, B. West, and we have two guests in the building, Adrian and Marco. They are an engaged couple, and they're going to give us their insight on the power of the P. So I'm going to introduce you guys. Go ahead, Marco, and tell us a bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me in here. I'm actually from St. Louis, Missouri, so I want to give a shout out to St. Louis. Everything that's going on back home, my family all back there. Moved here 2 years ago from Louisville, Kentucky. Me and Adrian, we actually met each other on Facebook, social media. But small story.
We made it for real.
So small story about that. We actually went to grade school together, elementary school together. So we kind of reconnected in some type of way, but we love each other.
Okay. Adrian, tell us the real story.
He remembers me from kindergarten.
There you go.
Checking me out on the playground.
See? Starts when you're young.
Right. But like you said, we just kind of reconnected on Facebook, and we had a lot of mutual friends,
Okay. So, do you guys have anything special or interesting in your lives that you guys are working on together, or, you're just building that family?
Yeah, just working on kids. We got three, and three girls, 14, 11, and 3. So just trying to provide for them and just do what's best, for them, and hopefully everything works out.
And I'd like to introduce our new co-host.
Mm-hmm.
He went from a guest to now he's my sidekick that is doing as much work as I am. So, B. West, please let us know what you're getting into.
So, last week I didn't have the opportunity to properly introduce myself. My name is Brandon. I go by B. West as well. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I moved to Texas from Louisville, Kentucky. So I know Marco from Louisville. I met Adrian once I came down here. But so we all have that tie together. This is officially episode number 2. So we're gonna keep some order to this. So episode number 1 was last week. You can always go to
KMWI-media.com
to check out episode number 1. Also, help me out with this. Vimeo. You can go on Vimeo. You can type in the Kink, Talking Dirty After Dark with Kenya. You can check out the videos. This is episode number 2, and that will be uploaded soon as well.
Yes, and if you'd like to get in on our conversation, you can call us at 203-802-5694. This conversation is going to be really interesting, so let us know what you guys think, and feel free to join in at any time.
All right.
So we're going to start off, the power of the pussy, and then it goes to the power of the penis. Men don't think that theirs is that great sometimes, that women kind of overpower them.
Shit.
But as women, we are able to get a little bit more from just it's not even the pussy, it's seduction. It's the perception of the pussy. And, the seduction that we put out and that energy and vibe that we put out actually hypes a man up thinking he's going to get that pussy.
Expand on that.
Just being sensual. Women can naturally be sensual. Well, some women can naturally be sensual. So when we, touch of the shoulder and a rub of the thigh, a guy thinks, oh, damn, she wants me and I'm about to get it all. And that's not true. That's not true. That's saying, okay, I need something and you might be able to provide it. That's it. But some women are naturally seductive, and they really don't realize what they're doing. And men kind of take that perception as, they're coming after them or whatever else, and it's not going to happen. It's just that's their nature. So, have you used your seductiveness in order to give power to that pussy?
In the past, I definitely have. I'm not gonna say my mom always said, but you know the old saying, as long as you have a pussy, you'll never be broke.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
exactly.
that's kind of what it goes back to. If you need stuff done, you know who to go to.
That's true.
Yeah, because I gave up a lot of money.
Well, and that goes to like, I've had a guy mention that that's just prostitution. If you trying to seduce to get something, then that's a form of prostitution. But that's really not true, because there's a lot of women out there giving up sex and not getting nothing in return.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then you can just talk a game and get whatever you want.
exactly, no need to open your legs at all.
May I ask a question?
You may.
To the lovely couple?
You may.
How long have y'all been together?
5 years.
Okay. Do you still feel like you have an advantage in that department while you're in your current relationship with Marco?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times has he slept on the couch?
Not often.
Not often.
Yeah, I stopped sleeping on the couch a while back.
But do you feel obligated that you need to buy something when you guys have an argument?
I'm not gonna say obligated, but I feel like
You need to make up in some kind of way.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Did
Yeah.
you buy a push gift when she had your kids?
Oh, did I?
No push gift. He did come back with a Cinnabon, like right after delivery.
That might just be.
You know,
Maybe
he's
that was
sitting there
it.
with the ice chips, can't eat nothing, and this Cinnabon was great.
So explain to us what a push gift is.
Well, the millennials have termed it a push gift or push present. Whenever a woman has your child or is giving birth, then they give them this big gift, almost like an anniversary gift, in order to celebrate the birth of the child or thanking them for the birth of the child.
Okay. Did you receive one?
I did.
What did you get?
I did. I got a Dooney and Burke.
Okay.
Yes. So we're going to kind of flip it now, the power of the penis. There are some women that feel like they cannot live without it. And that, and there's some men that act like gold's wrapped around it. So, do you think that men have a leg to stand on when it comes to withholding?
Literally.
Withholding sex from us women, in order to gain leverage, or?
You asking me first or Marco?
Well, I'm asking both the men at the table.
You want to go first, Marco, or would you like me to?
You can go first.
All right. Yeah, I think the temperature has changed recently. I think within the last couple of years, women have been more vocal on, I need penis, I need, dick, whatever, however you want to put it. So yeah, I think that's giving men the advantage. I feel like that we are, I think we a lot of times we can kind of dictate how things go because, and I hate to use the word thirsty, but I feel like a lot of women come off as thirsty when it comes to wanting sex or at least wanting that companionship. So yeah, I think we have a leg to stand. They act as if that it's it can't be replaced.
I think it's more prevalent in older women because now the men are getting scarce.
What do you mean by that?
Well, so it's no secret, I'm 43.
Okay.
And I am single.
Okay.
But men in my age group, they're married, and they're either trying to have you as the side chick, or they just are not interested. They've gone through their midlife crisis and they're trying to just play the field as much as they can.
So, I'm sorry, are we specifically talking about sex here, or are we talking about relationships?
Relationships and
just in general.
And just in general, yeah.
So you have a hard time having sex.
Well, no, I don't have a hard time having sex. But I don't want to just give it to everybody.
Okay.
I'm sex selective. So, it's like I want somebody who's not attached to somebody.
Okay.
That's just the main thing.
Okay.
Because, as a woman, I would want that respect. So I'm going to give that respect.
But being realistic, what's the likelihood of that? Of finding someone that's not attached to someone in some capacity?
It's very hard, especially at my age. You know, I've either had to date way younger, or you know, I'm dating quite older, and they just ain't got what I want.
Well, give us details. What's your way younger?
My youngest was 25. Yeah.
Maybe 24, maybe 23.
We're gonna stay at 25.
Okay. And your oldest.
For legal reasons.
And your
And so my oldest was about 60.
Sheesh.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, you know what? I mean, with the help of Viagra, everything was great.
Sheesh.
Wow.
But it was, you know, coming out, going shopping with me.
But at 60, he probably didn't want to do anything sexually, though.
No, he was still very sexually active, but it was just he couldn't keep up with my energy, and that was the problem. So, you know, even going out, I still have 3 small kids. So I started late in life with kids, and you know, I'm at the park running around, and he wanted to come and hang, but he couldn't hang.
So at 43, you still got the spark.
I still got the spark.
I hear you.
Listen, after I turned 40, like that pussy power turned on times 10. And that's facts. You know, it's like I gained something new. And,
Meet Matt Poley and Tara Maxon. They run Heirloom LA,
sex wasn't
catering
a big
company.
issue for me, and I'm like, dang, but now I want it all the time, and there's nobody to give it to.
Well, we were speeding. We passed up Marco on his
Oh,
thoughts
yes,
on
That's okay. No, I mean, I think kind of in agreement with Brandon. I think it's changing, you know, just with a lot of things now. You know, I think social media adds to it too, to be totally honest, because now men can perceive to be something maybe that they're not, or maybe have something that they don't have, you know. But so I think that makes it a lot more, you know, kind of leaning, tipping the scales that way. But ultimately, in the end, I mean, women gonna have all that. That's just, I think, how it is.
So, what are you guys' thoughts about women getting into sugar baby, sugar daddy situations? Because, you know, it's basically, I mean, it is a form of getting what you want, using what you have.
I mean, it's 2 grown individuals, you know, so if that's what they choose to do, you know, I personally don't have a problem with it. I've never done it in my life, obviously, but, you know, I just feel like that if the opportunity presents itself for somebody who need a companion or whatever they may need to get out of the situation, and if they both happy, then so be it.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't have the money for it. I can't afford to sponsor anyone. And even if I did have the money for it, I mean, I say it now, I wouldn't, but I don't know. If I was just, you know, rolling in money and I had millions and millions of dollars, maybe I would.
At 60 years old,
Well,
you'll get that bread up.
But
at
there's
60.
a lot.
Possibly.
There's a lot of.
Possibly. Don't agree.
There's a lot of sugar daddies out there that are still 30, 40 years old,
Yeah.
And it's a control.
That's not a
issue.
sugar daddy. That's just somebody that's tricking.
Well, no, I mean it's really a control issue because they want it and they get it when they want it. So all they have to do is just pick up a phone.
But who's in control?
I truly think the man thinks that he's in control.
Yeah.
But the women actually are in control because they're getting everything that they want.
Right.
But you have to play the game strategically because if you don't, then everything is taken away from you.
Well, give us the rules, can you?
I'm just letting you know.
So yeah, I agree with that. I do think women are in control, and I believe in the power of pee in regards to pussy. It's Brandon speaking. Yeah, I believe in the power of the pee in regards to pussy, and I think that women are in control, and I think women don't know how much power they have when it comes to that. And like Adrian said earlier, there's no reason for you to be broke if you have a vagina between your legs.
Yeah, I agree because, you know, it's like whether you're going on the first date and they taking you to, you know, Olive Garden, I guess Applebee's or whatever other restaurant, you know, you're still getting. That's for the people that are on a budget, you know. But you know, it's like you're still putting out. You're getting something and you're giving something. Because half the time, people nowadays have sex on the first date. And having sex on the first date, you know, you're going to that restaurant. He done fed you. Now you're going to his house, and he's basically paying for the pussy.
Definitely. That happens all the time.
So you feel like the woman owes, if a man takes a woman out on a date to dinner, then she owes him.
I don't think she owes, but women, realistically,
we know within the first 2.5 seconds
if we gonna sleep with you or not.
Yes. They already know.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as we walk in and we see you and it's like, oh, he got on the wingtips and, you know, the nice slacks and
right,
blah,
he
blah,
smell
blah.
good.
Yeah.
You already know.
Listen, did I wear the good drawers tonight? You know, that's what it is. But you sit there and, you know, if he ain't feeling, you know, if I ain't feeling him, then I'm walking out the door.
Well, I got another question to piggyback on what Brandon said. What if a guy flies you out? Does that mean, should you give it up?
Ooh. So we touched on this on the last show because I've been flown out a couple of times, and dang.
I mean, is it common courtesy or,
okay, so if he flies you out, you giving it up anyways. That's just point blank. You giving it up anyways.
Because that's already in your mind.
Well, you know, most of the time you've already given it up, and he's bringing you out because the shit was bomb. That's it. he ain't flying you out to try it out.
Okay.
So
it's already been done.
It's already been done.
What if it hasn't though? What if this is the first time?
He ain't flying you out.
He's not gonna fly you out.
Shit.
He ain't flying.
He don't even know what he's dealing with.
Right.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree.
I'm sorry.
And me personally,
these N-words are flying women out.
Yeah, I disagree.
Me personally, I ain't flying out and don't know what I'm getting because then I might be left in a state.
Right.
You know.
So the free trip ain't worth it, huh?
No. Because you kind of feel like you're obligated to that person that whole time that you're there.
What's the difference between that trip though and dinner? Why wouldn't you feel obligated to dinner, but you would feel obligated with a trip?
Because at dinner you can get up and leave.
Right.
If you on this trip, he didn't flew you out. You like, I don't even know where I'm at. Don't know nobody, and you know you just kind of left out there on your own trying to figure it out.
Okay. Exactly. Because you're in some state and it's like
you at his mercy.
Right. You ain't got no place to stay.
But he's visiting too.
No, most of the time he's flying you to him.
Oh, you mean so he's flying you to his hometown?
Or somewhere that he's already been and he's familiar.
He may be on a work trip or something like that, and he's flying you to where he's at. So he's taken care of.
But y'all ain't going out there with your bank account on zero. You can get a hotel room.
That's true, but you know, it's like you out there and you don't want to be by yourself, not knowing anybody.
Anything could happen.
Okay.
You say you don't want to give it up, he flip out, then what?
Right.
Okay.
You know.
So if you get flown out and you actually go, that means you already know you giving it up.
Right.
Because we've already established something.
Right. You packing the goodies. That's what it is.
Did y'all ever hear about the Dubai chicks? The Instagram models that were getting flown out to Dubai?
No.
Yeah, they was offering these ladies X amount of dollars, like $30,000, $40,000 for the weekend, but they had to do whatever those men wanted them to do for
I
them.
wouldn't have did that because I would have been in the sex trafficking game probably. My luck.
Was it black women?
I think it was all nationalities. I think it was black, Hispanics, Latinos,
I wouldn't have did that.
Latins
Me
or whatever.
either. I ain't going out of the country.
Yeah. Not that far. Not to Dubai.
They got that long oil money though. And I'm saying 30 and 40. It could have been add another zero. It could have been 300,
So let's-
400,000.
But at the
Okay,
same
so-
time, you at their mercy. They could be trying to put their dick in your ear or something.
3 days.
I'm not.
You guys got to withstand it for 3 days.
let me tell you this story because I'm from Connecticut and we would go to New York all the time to catch parties and stuff. So there's this it's called the Whiskey and it's a club inside of the W Hotel in the basement. You have when I say money, you have money in this club. And so me and my cousin, we were at the whiskey, and all of a sudden this bouncer comes over, and he's like, there's some guys over here that want to meet you. And so we're like, oh, okay. You know, they look like they were Saudi Arabian or something like that. They had their head wrap on, and as soon as we come over, he hands the bouncer an envelope full of money. And I'm like, okay, we need to go, and we need to go now. The bouncer just sold us to these guys. And I'm like, no, we got to go. They were like, wouldn't let us out of VIP, nothing. We were just stuck there. So, you know, I was like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, but I need my cousin to come with me. And we bounced. So, you know, there's situations like that, and people are quick to, you know, do whatever they can in order to put a price on your head. So.
Yeah. Well, don't fall victim to that, ladies. I would hate to lose you all to sex trafficking. So.
For real.
That was a downer. So.
Right. I was hoping that story kind of picked up. You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Until 6 in the morning.
Yeah. So other news.
Right.
But you know, it's like people will do whatever they can in order to get what they want. So you know that pussy power is real. It's real.
So, should there be a amount of time that a woman should hold out before giving up sex to a man?
That's an
And I say that, man.
I used to have the 3-month rule, but then
So 90 days. So you got that from Stephen Harvey?
No, I had that from my mom said you need to keep your legs closed.
For 90 days.
But yeah, for 90 days. But then I found out that
It's a waste of time.
it was a waste of time. Yeah, it pretty much is, because if you're gonna do it on the first night or the 90th night, it's still gonna be the same, and it's gonna have the same results. Because there's some guys that are just hanging there just to get it, and then leave you right then and there, or they really in for the long haul.
I hope I'm not out of pocket asking you all this question, but did you all? Was it the time frame that you all waited?
No.
They damn one.
Okay. So 5 years later, you all still
together. So it doesn't matter really, you know. First day, 10th day, 10 months. You know, I think it's about when you get that connection. You know, when you get that connection, and
I like that.
you know, if the passion is there, then hey, you roll with it.
But see, for us, we talked for a long time though. We talked for a minute, so we had already kind of established something.
So you guys had that mental first, you know, that mind sex first.
Did you mind fuck me?
No, I don't think that's right.
So let's hear your story. So you all met on Facebook. How long
No,
did-
they met when they were younger and
They
then
met.
rekindled on Facebook. Follow the story.
So I'm sorry. It's correct. So Miss Esco is correct. So you all, how long did the interaction on Facebook go?
How long did that last?
Just recently, she told me that I was flirting with her on posts. I don't really recall that part.
How long have you guys been together?
5 years.
Okay.
Follow the story.
Okay.
So her version will say that I was flirting with her. My version says that I got in her DM, you know, and asked her, hey, can we link up one time, you know? So we end up actually...
One time. What did you mean by that?
You wanted to test the goods and then
Well,
go out?
hey, to really be honest, and I think she would agree too, it was basically supposed to be us getting together and, you know, fucking. That's what it was supposed to be.
It's supposed to be in and out, and no strings attached.
Right. You know, and I guess that was kind of known without even saying it, you know. So we end up meeting at the zoo, you know.
I was
Right.
at the zoo with my kids.
She was at the zoo with her kids. She was
You
at
guys gonna step up and
That's not what we was gonna do. That. She was at the zoo, and I was there, you know, with my dog. And that first,
your dog.
yeah, I was there with my dog. So we was really going, you know, kind of.
It's at this big park called Forest Park, so it's got like a zoo, science center, museum. So he was at the park, and I was at the zoo, so it wasn't far away from each other.
But she wasn't quite ready because I waited for a long time at that part. You know?
I was at the zoo with my kids.
And when she finally made it, probably like 7 or 8 hours later.
Jesus, y'all was still at the zoo?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
We was looking at we was at the zoo with kids. What do you expect? That's not.
Maybe I'm tripping. I'm bugging, maybe. You literally had an animal dog.
Yeah.
Can you bring a dog in the zoo?
Well, we was outside the zoo. I was outside of the zoo.
So you waited outside of the zoo for
But that's
7
what
or
I
8
say.
hours.
But no, it's a
Nah,
park.
it's a hell of a story,
It's
fam.
a park.
Were you guys here in Texas?
No, we were in
we was in
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
So
What's
we
that?
met that day, and it was, that was our first time meeting since we had, kind of talked on Facebook. That was cool, good conversation. We probably went maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, and we hadn't talked at all. And then
Why was that?
I don't
remember.
Tell us.
Tell us, Adrian.
I don't remember.
Okay, well I'll let you take the story over from here.
What was it? No, I really don't remember why we didn't talk.
I don't either, so that's why I gave you the.
Was I talking to somebody else?
I don't know. Who knows?
You know what? I
Why would you
probably
gonna
was.
say
Oh,
probably
you know
though,
what? I
Marco?
was talking to somebody else. That's what it was. That's what it was. I mean, because we weren't gonna be anything serious, so I wasn't gonna stop what I was doing.
Right.
So then I gave you a good text message that kind of said what?
Stop fucking playing with me. Basically,
Yeah.
either we gonna do this or we not. I was like, oh damn.
Oh, okay.
I guess
So-
So was it enough to make you drop the other guy?
Yeah, I kind of strong on her. She
Okay.
came over like the same night.
Oh,
on the same night.
Okay, so the next night.
Okay, so the next night she came over and, got it cracking. That was,
And that was the end of the story.
5 years later, here we are. We got a 3-year-old, that's,
Wow.
That's amazing. I'm proud of you all.
See, so that pussy power was amazing.
Well, it sounds like the power of the penis,
Well,
for real.
yeah, well,
He said, I'm
you know
not
what?
playing
I
no
agree.
games with you. You need to get
I
over
agree.
here.
Yeah, he
I
definitely strong.
I agree. So
and I think that's actually what made it work. If I would have just been the same, just kind of low key letting her go as she felt, I think she would have, just did her
I
own
had a
thing.
good situation going on.
So
you guys took your roles. You were assertive, and
Right.
she was. Do you feel like you're submissive to the relationship, or you just
No,
you give enough power?
I feel like we have a power struggle when it comes to it.
Really?
Talk about it.
Really?
Talk about it.
Because I mean, essentially, me and him, we're both one and the same. My birthdays are 4 days apart.
Oh, wow.
So we're almost one and the same. in
October
certain-
10th, October 14th.
Yeah, so we're one and the same in certain aspects. So it's definitely a struggle when it comes to some things.
Okay. So
She likes being on top though, so she's got all the control.
Literally.
So when you're from behind, you don't feel like you have any control?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So that struggle though, is there any time where you feel like you are submissive to him just to give him that
power? Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so what happens then?
Yeah, what happens then?
When are you submissive? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Whoa, really? We finna go there?
No, I'm just trying to figure that out.
Maybe not the time.
When you roll over and just take it. That's what I'm submissive.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right. So,
We try to keep a happy home, okay? We just want to know information, okay?
consensual, of course. You take it consensually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consensual
Been
is
together
the,
5 years. Come on now.
You know how they be playing like they sleep, but they not really sleep.
That's called the power of the pussy,
It's
because
one
we
of
know
those.
what we want, because we ready for it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
We just,
Consensual, remember
That's when you go to bed with no clothes on.
Consensual.
And
Because if you don't want none,
I thought you was just
boy,
hot all the
sweatpants
time.
and everything.
right where the ones used to be.
Right. Oh, you can't unzip this tonight.
so interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna have to write all this down. So I can do this.
So 5 years later, here you are. That's amazing. I'm proud of you all. So what's next? Hey, what's the next topic that we have on the docket?
We're jewelry and penises.
Okay.
So do men feel like accentuating their penises actually gives them a little extra in the foreplay area?
What do you mean?
Like men piercings.
Like in the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it the Prince Charles or?
I think it's called Prince Albert.
Prince Albert. Okay. Prince Charles.
Don't say
He's
Prince
kinda
Charles.
I would never do that. Me personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do
Why?
that. Get a Prince Albert in my thing.
Yeah.
I don't think my pain threshold isn't that
I'm
high.
Googling this because I don't know what y'all talking about.
So a Prince Albert is a piercing at the tip of the penis. It's going right through, but it stimulates the woman as you guys are having intercourse.
You've experienced this?
I have not.
You can be honest. Tell us.
I have not.
Okay.
It looked like it hurt.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. But you would invite a man over that, or you would invite that into your love life.
I
a Prince
would.
Albert.
I mean, I would. I mean, I've seen them before, but I've never experienced them. So yeah, I would definitely, you try almost anything once.
I wonder what the healing period is for that.
It's actually a couple of weeks. It's
Yeah, I
like
bet.
it's 3 to 6 weeks.
I bet.
I wonder, do you lose sensation?
It's from what I've heard that it increases sensation.
In the man?
They always say that.
Well, this came from a guy. This
Yeah.
came from a guy.
Yeah, I would challenge that.
That don't look like it hurt.
No.
Let me see.
What about vagina piercing? Do you all, Marco, you ever experienced a vagina piercing?
Oh yeah,
Did you enjoy it?
yeah. That's simple, right?
Can we get a little bit more than
No, I definitely think it's a difference, and I think anybody who have experience would agree.
So was it through penetration or oral sex?
I would say penetration, but a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's probably different for her more with oral sex than it is with the penetration, but I think for a guy,
So would you let a guy with the Prince Albert penetrate?
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
I don't have one, by the way. Not getting one. Let's let that be known.
Me personally does absolutely nothing for me.
Really?
The woman having a pierced vagina, I could probably do without it. It sounds like loose change to me. Like when it's moving, it sounds like loose change. I'm not a huge fan of it. I could probably do without it. It did nothing for me.
Really?
But remember back in the day when it used to be cool for chicks to have the what they call it, a stud in your tongue.
So I had my tongue pierced.
Did
and
nothing for me.
And I had my nipples pierced.
Really?
The nipples do something for me.
Oh Lord.
visually?
I would never in life.
The nipples do something for me.
I ain't got it.
I'm
He
not a
was trying to
titty
talk
guy.
me into it,
I'm not a titty guy by
Okay.
any means, but a woman with her nipples pierced, is like,
The
That's
pain. The pain.
It is painful.
It is painful, and then it actually, the piercing slipped out of the nipple, and I tried to put it back in, and it wouldn't go back in. So I went back to the piercing place, and they're like, "Oh no, you have to do it all over again." I said, "I'm good on that. Take the other one out, because I'm not doing that ever again."
What piercings have you had?
I've had my tongue pierced twice, and
Okay.
then I've had my nipples pierced.
So you had two different holes in the tongue, or
Yeah.
so she really had some action. You had some action going on. two studs at the same time.
Yeah.
Am I using the right term? Stud?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do y'all remember that when we were younger? That was like, oh, if a chick got her tongue pierced, that she has.
That she give good head, yeah.
I didn't agree
I
with
did.
that.
No. I did.
They had crazy tongue rings. Like they had like vibrating ones and spiky ones.
The spiky ones are amazing.
Nothing for me. I
Nothing
hated
for
that.
you.
I might have a more sensitive underside than other men. 'Cause I just didn't like that feeling.
What-
Underside of my penis is what I mean.
Okay,
I didn't like
so
it.
explain.
I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't like the feeling of a spiky or spike instrument on my penis. I didn't like it.
So you don't like the feeling of anything going on the underside of your penis, or
No.
I didn't say
Vibrators,
that. You
nothing?
didn't say that. No, first of all, no. I was very specific when I said spiked
Nothing
objects. I do like a penis. I mean, not penis, but I'm sorry, a tongue. Strike that, Kenny. I like a tongue on the other side of my penis.
you're just supposed to say no homo.
Sorry. Pause, no homo. We'll strike that from the record. I like a tongue, the flesh of a tongue, but not I guess a spike tongue ring or even the vibrator. I wasn't a fan of that one either.
really? What's wrong with you?
Dang.
I guess I'm not the norm. I don't know. Have you experienced that, Marco?
What?
The spiked.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that you clarify everything that you talking
Yeah, the
about.
spike. I'm sorry, I had one slip up, y'all. I'm sorry. The spiked tongue ring.
I mean, it doesn't bother me by any means. You know, I'm trying to talk Adrian into getting her nipples pierced, but
It hurts. It hurts.
she just.
It hurt when you pinch them, so I really just
It
can't.
hurts.
I think it's quick though.
Like it.
Well, you get yours done and let me know how it goes.
Okay, but see, this
We don't
is-
have that relationship.
This is the thing. They do it quick, but with it being quick, then they pause, and then you got to go for the other one. So you know what the pain is now.
Right.
So it's like, oh no.
Right.
They'd have to do me at the same time. Like I need to. You have to pay extra for 2 people.
Right. Exactly.
That would be stupid just to have one. You had to have 2.
Listen, I seriously about told them stop. And like I don't have huge nipples, so I'm just like, now you got to clamp them and pull them out in order to go through, and
That's funny.
mine are pretty flat.
That's Kenny, by the way.
Yeah, I don't have those raisins.
That's funny. I'm not a fan of the huge areola. I like the smaller areola on them.
Yeah, I'm pretty flat. So just big breasts, flat nipples. Don't know why. It is what it is.
Okay. Where are we at on time? We got plenty of time. So what's next?
We got plenty
What's
of
on your time?
time.
We can just freestyle this.
We can.
What's going on?
So I want to get into why men think that women can't live without their dick, and
They can't.
Why not?
I got a vibrator that can go harder than some men out there.
We're like 10 speeds.
Is it better than the real thing though?
Yes,
I don't
because
believe
it
it. I
hits
just
every
can't.
spot.
Yes, they don't talk back. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Exactly.
But that contact though is different.
Yeah.
It
That
is.
flesh
It
on
is.
flesh, or
Right.
using a condom, just a condom on flesh.
But then for some women, after you use a dildo or vibrator for so long, it's kind of hard to be with a man because the sensation is completely different.
Exactly. Like you can't.
Or you can use both.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you can.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
But that
right.
feeling is like none other.
I mean,
Product plug. What's a good one to use?
Sorry, I can't answer these questions right now.
I'm sorry.
Marcos looking
No,
at
what's
me.
what's a good one to use?
I don't know the brand, but
Vivo.
A TiVo?
No,
It's
V.
It's called Vivo.
A Vivo.
Yeah, it's got like a USB charger, 10 speeds.
What's
Stuff
the-
like
So you can use it in your car.
The candy.
Right, crazy. If you use that while it's on the charger, you're gonna explode. So you better
It doesn't
not.
turn on
It's
while
waterproof.
Yeah, it does. So there's one that's with the candy coated nights, and it's probably about this big, so it fits in your little pocketbook, and goes hard, like goes super hard, and you can use it for hours and hours.
Damn. On one charge?
On one charge. And then you can
Hours
attach.
and hours.
You can
Yeah, really?
listen. You
I
can
black out.
attach it. You can attach it. It comes with. You can buy panties that are separate that attaches to it, and so you wear them out, and then give your partner the remote.
That was my next question. Go ahead. What kind of freak are you?
Listen, no, but that's a way to connect with your partner because you guys could be across the room, and he could just be clicking, and you
Not
get
even
the-
that.
you
I'm talking
get-
about the hours that you need with this vibrator. Now you're gonna vibrate yourself into a coma. Jesus.
Listen, you have when you're getting into bed, when you're taking a shower, whatever.
You're a shower masturbator?
I am. My first experience as shower masturbator was I bought a removable shower head and used the removable shower head to masturbate with.
Sheesh.
I think every woman's done that.
Are they that strong?
Yes.
I gotta get better water pressure. Trash at home, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's amazing, and even when you got weak water pressure, it goes a certain pressure.
You just got to hit the right spot, right?
Well, no, the shower head actually regulates the pressure, so yeah, it makes it stronger than it actually is.
But as far as the remote control vibrator, you're into that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that'd be cool. I would like to
I mean,
experience
it's
that with a woman.
it's to keep. I think it's great to keep the spice in your marriage, because if you're, or either a relationship as well, because if you're just out and you guys are at separate areas, he can hit your spot.
Damn, what's the range on that?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I think it's up to 200 feet.
Damn.
Yeah, it's up to 200 feet. So he could be talking with his group, you talking with your group, and then all of a sudden you just, bam.
They gonna think you having a damn seizure or
Yeah,
something.
she's straight up. Jesus.
Got Tourette's or something.
But it's amazing. It's amazing.
What's the name of it? I need to put that in my phone.
You know, I was thinking this week, I think I've developed a teacher kink. I think I want to experience a teacher. I was thinking this week,
Like in a classroom?
I don't know if it necessarily would have to be in
Or
a
she
class.
just gotta tell you that she's a
Why
teacher?
is
No,
that?
it would have to be a legit teacher. Like
Why is that?
I don't know. I have not the slightest idea. When I was in high school, it was a few different teachers I wanted to. I feel like I could have.
Man, my third grade teacher, whew,
Miss Boyd.
man.
So you like Adrian and you like the teacher. Jesus.
But she was cute. She was really cute.
Let's look her up.
Hey,
Has
she
she
had,
passed
listen.
Miss Boyd?
She passed away.
Oh.
So
She was
R.I.P.
deceased,
So let's not. That's why I shouldn't have mentioned her name. But
Okay.
you know.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But go ahead with your teacher fetish.
I think I want to experience the teacher. I always wanted to when I was in high school. I never had the opportunity.
So now that
It's
you're
not
older
legal.
and legal,
Yeah, I would.
You
I
would?
would. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I would want to. Yeah.
Why? I mean, just why?
It's something about.
And why does it have to be a teacher? It can't be just a straight up woman off the street.
yeah. And my question is, does she have to be dressed like she's a teacher? Does she have to say
Not
she's
during
a
it.
teacher?
I think.
It's because teachers are supposed to be like taboo. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to do it.
Yeah, because you just. I don't. It's just something about they're your instructor. They're teaching you, but secretly you all have this moment that you share when everyone else is not around.
Hopefully
I
it's
think
not in the
worth it.
classroom. Is it?
I would, hell yeah, I would do it in the classroom. Not like when the students are in there, but hell yeah, I would do it in the classroom. But and let's say I'm talking about like college professor or high school teacher.
Okay.
You know, what I'm saying something of that nature. I would like that.
Wow.
I like that. Would you ever deal with a police officer?
Nah, man.
I wouldn't.
Really? My ex was.
I heard they're real controlling. Like it's like a power trip for them.
It can be, but they also feed off of their insecurities a lot too. So they feel like they have to compensate and overdo things because of the insecurities.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about professions, mine would have to be probably a nurse. I mean, I know that's cliche.
RN, LPN,
This is
CNA.
a nerd.
Yeah,
CNA.
but this would have to be a nurse, man. Something about them scrubs, you know. Man, I think you can, man, them scrubs.
Do you all roll
Scrubs are probably better than leggings.
Really?
Probably. Yeah. I
Adrian
mean,
was
leggings,
like,
and this is why. Because with scrubs, you don't really see the shape. So you got to visualize, you know what I'm saying? And then, sometimes you get the right one and you're looking at it, you're like, man, yeah, she got a little bit back there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you kind of use a little bit more.
I never thought about
There's
that.
nothing
were-
sexy about scrubs.
Nah, man. Find you a CNA when you
Okay.
get a chance.
Okay. Find a CNA and check her out her scrubs.
Right.
Okay. So I'm thinking, y'all didn't hear my question. Do you all role play in your relationship?
No, we never role played.
Would you ever consider it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we would.
Okay.
I personally would probably do about anything.
What would you be?
I think she know that.
What would you be?
Yeah.
If we role play,
Yeah. What would your role play? Like construction worker?
that's a good question.
A nurse.
Yeah,
Put you in some scrubs.
Let me take your attention to baby.
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me get back to it.
Okay.
What would you want to be? What would you want to see me as?
A nurse.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Put me in some scrubs. Let me check your blood pressure.
She could get a stethoscope and check the pulse of your penis.
Yep.
Is that where that goes?
It can.
It can.
I heard it. Okay. Hey.
You can put it anywhere.
Yeah,
Right?
you do have a pulse there though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a little faster.
Especially when you're a grower. It's just like, ooh.
Right.
So Marco, you would want to be a nurse in your role.
Well, I'd have to be a nurse because she just made me be a nurse.
Okay. And then what would you would be a patient or a doctor or?
I don't know, but
hospital
seeing how,
administrator.
but if it was a different situation, since now
So
that
you
I know
said-
he likes that, I would
I got a
definitely
sore throat.
do something nurse-like, you know,
See, I should go
just
get
to
some
like
scrubs,
fulfill that
man.
for him. Yeah.
You'll have to come back and tell us the story.
Okay.
All right. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
But I would like to do like a masquerade type something, you know, where you have masks and like maybe it's dark, so it's kind of like hidden, secretive type, you know.
Oh.
So that's almost like a mysterious role play. Where
Yeah.
would you do that in public or would you do that just at home?
I would do it at home. But it just kind of depends on where you at, you know.
Right,
If the
right.
setting is right, then I would do it in public.
Oh.
You okay?
Well, I'm waiting to her answer because I could have answered it for you. You know, she would do it in public or at home.
So it just kind of depends on the situation. But I would be open to either.
Okay.
Public meaning like people are watching, or public like we just went up to a corner and.
Either or.
Well, I mean, like it's getting Halloween, so you know masquerade parties are going on all over the place.
Right.
So would you just
Like a masquerade party at a swingers club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you all do the swingers clubs? Okay,
Next question.
This is no holds bars here.
Have you done a swingers club? This is a yes or no question.
No.
You haven't done the swingers club? Neither have I.
I mean, we've been to one, but we haven't participated.
So you guys
We
are
haven't
just
even been like
watchers,
to,
or
I mean, we haven't actually even been able to go in. It was like just too many distractions on the outside, you know, because the club is like inside of an adult store. So you got an
Okay.
adult store, then the clubs, and it's a hallway with rooms. So you end up people watching more than anything. Like, damn, what they finna do? You see them messing with that dog, you know?
Right,
So it'd be a whole
right.
lot of other stuff going on.
right? Oh my goodness, yeah. But do you think? Okay, so being in a swingers club, do you think you would ever switch partners? I know that's a.
I don't know. We've never really.
Would you be okay with?
We would probably share the same person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we would literally switch. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you would introduce somebody else into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We
That's
would.
fair.
Form a line.
We'd
have 'em
find
come up. Yeah.
we'd find a unicorn.
What's a unicorn?
We'd find a unicorn. The third person, a female, of course.
Not a man.
No.
I can't wrap myself around it.
Okay. Okay.
But definitely.
A lot of men, when that introduction is done, it's with another female. But why can't a woman experience two men?
And I'm not saying she can't, and maybe she could.
I think it's an ego thing, though, man.
It's not even that. But honestly, I just want to be the one to please her.
But the woman is, though.
That being
Right.
said,
The woman is if you are,
But what if
sharing
that
a
is pleasing her?
two men.
Yeah.
well, then I mean, hey, that's something we got to talk about.
That's a lot of women's fantasies, man. But men are so
Oh, yeah,
against
definitely.
it.
Definitely.
And I'm too. I'm not a.
And I'm not approaching it from the homosexual side, like, because some guys don't want to do it because they feel like, hey, it's gay. But that wouldn't be the reason why I would say no, because I literally think, matter of fact, I know that you can actually have sex with a female and, another guy, and you all not do anything at all.
Right.
That would have to be the rule for me. Like I don't want any contact with.
Well, you don't have to have contact with a guy.
Oh, we're
but
not.
But having conversations with men and women, a lot of women do fantasize about having that.
95%, 96%.
That's how many you seen fantasize about it? I think all.
Yeah.
I think all. At least one time.
You think 100% of it?
100% at least one time.
But then
I don't.
men.
Doesn't mean no. At least one time you never have.
No.
Never.
No.
Said what it's like two guys.
No,
I
I haven't.
you could be honest on the air.
I am being honest.
I see where Marco's coming from. I think
I
that
can-
as well.
I don't even like watching men in porn for real. I prefer watching women.
But the men ain't
So, I mean-
effing though.
So
But
let's
still,
ask this question
I
then.
don't-
Have
I
you?
still just-
Let's ask this question. Have you fantasized about two women?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think every woman, even with the power of the P, it goes for women too, because women know how to seduce other women.
Right, 'cause we know what we like.
Because we know what we like, and
Does it always have to be physical?
It does not have
No.
to be physical. No.
Okay.
It can be just an meeting an emotional need that women are able to please another woman, and I would say about maybe 40-50% of women have experienced other women just because out of that emotional need. We come to women, it's like we have our girlfriends when, some man pisses us off and won't give us the D or whatever else. And then we're like, oh, it's okay. And then that okay goes to something else.
Then they give it up.
As childish as this may sound, I feel like anytime a woman says, "Hey, we're having girls' night," I feel like it's a lot of sex that goes on. I feel like it's all sex and it's just naked women, and that's why men aren't invited. I just think they all go and just get pleased by each other, and then they go their separate ways.
Really?
I think it may sound
Why?
childish, but I don't care, and I'm sticking with it. Because y'all don't do anything. Y'all don't play video games. You all don't play. What are you all doing?
They don't watch basketball. They don't watch football.
What are you all doing when you're together?
We talk.
We
Shit,
drink.
talk my ass, yeah.
Yes.
I
know.
mean, we play games too.
No, y'all don't.
We don't play video games. We may play drinking games, card games. We do
drinking
stuff
games.
like
What's that gonna lead to?
more drinking.
Right.
Right, that's it.
I feel like,
That's it.
and I know
It's
it's
not a big
That's
long
only
orgy.
happened to
No,
me
it's
maybe
not.
like one time.
What, excuse me, I missed it. what did I miss?
I've only done it maybe like one time.
But
it just ended up like this girl was trying to teach us how to squirt. So we was literally like in a circle, standing around playing with ourselves, trying to see who can squirt.
Right.
But I mean,
Right.
Damn.
That's,
Jeez.
but you know what?
I gotta get invited to these
We
parties.
learn stuff from other women. That's the
Yeah.
only way. Because, this goes into, our next show, The Taboo of Sex. We don't learn everything that we're supposed to know from home or other, we learn from our girlfriends.
Well, I hope
And-
moms ain't teaching daughters how to squirt.
Well, but you know what? But there's a lot of moms that won't even talk to their girls about sex.
Yeah, they
So and that's something that should be done. Don't leave it to the
It should.
school, because education right now is having a struggle.
Do you have any daughters?
I do, all three.
yeah,
We do too.
we in the same boat.
So you plan on having that
Oh,
conversation?
we had the conversation at 7.
How did that go?
At 7, it was like, Mom, I don't want to hear this. But this is what you need to know, because kids are having sex earlier and earlier. So you need to know, because I ain't gonna be a G-ma.
What made you have that conversation at 7 years old?
Because they started asking about a little boy pulled his penis out on the playground.
Damn.
My whole thing is
Right, first grade.
my
I would have never did that in Mr. Winter class.
my kids have never said, oh, pee or it's penis, vagina.
So you give them the name.
I give them the name because you need to know what it is in a correct form.
Right.
And that's how I taught my kids. But
My baby was 7. She called it cheese curls.
my kids,
What did Michaela call it? I don't even.
She don't even address it yet.
Yeah, I don't even think she even
She
knows.
didn't even realize it's
honestly.
there yet.
But she's
see,
3. She's
See,
3.
but like my ex-husband used to call it, because we got 3 girls. So it's like, oh, you need to make sure you wash your chi-chi. No, what the fuck is a chi-chi? And so then you got Chia Pet on TV,
Right,
and
right.
then like Chia, and then like, oh, they got a chi-chi too.
And you water it.
They're trying to water her chi-chi.
So it's like, no, it's vagina and penis.
Why
That's
do
what
we
it
do
is.
that as parents? Or why do we?
Because we're afraid of it. Also, it's that taboo.
You try to shield them from it.
Right.
That's an interesting topic.
So tell me this, as a mom, do you think it's the mom's role to talk to her daughters about that?
I do. I'm not leaving it up to anybody. You got sex ed in 6th grade, and half these people don't know what they're talking about. So even though they're supposed to be educated, you know.
So you don't think the dad should have that conversation?
Well, I think the dad should give them their perspective of what little boys are trying to do.
Right.
Preach.
You know, but I also need men to be out there and telling their sons on the real that, you know, don't give them high five because they're sliding up into some girl when they're in the 7th grade.
Right.
So, do you think that having that conversation that early, do you think that encourages them to partake in that action earlier, or what are your thoughts on like
I
as
don't.
far?
I really
You think it
don't.
keeps them away from it?
I think it makes them make a little bit more rational
Just to
decisions.
educate.
Yeah, it educates them.
It's like the parent that gives their son condoms for the first time. You know, do you expect them to use them, or do you expect them to say, no, I just don't want to have sex?
I would expect them to use them. If I'm handing somebody something, I'm expecting them to use it.
So even if they haven't started having sex yet, then that's like the, okay, go ahead.
I would think so, yeah. I would think if I'm giving my child a condom, I'm saying, hey, you know, go out and
But see,
So
Strap up.
on the other end, is it okay for a woman to give their daughter birth control? Is that saying, okay, well, since you got birth control, go ahead and have sex?
I would think so. I think it's a green light.
But no, I don't agree because some young women starting early, birth control is used in order to control their menstrual cycle. And so, you know, just because they're on birth control doesn't mean it's the green light. It means it keeps them from having to go run back and forth to the bathroom 50 million times and not making a mess of themselves.
But that's just nature, though. Why would you want to control that?
Because
You can tell he's never had a cycle.
So nowadays, a lot of women are having it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and polycystic ovarian syndrome is when they have cysts on their ovaries, and it causes them to bleed really heavy. And so when they're bleeding really heavy, you know, they are having cramps. Their menstrual cycle is like literally like somebody stabbed
Yeah,
them.
and it really makes them sick.
Yes, like they become anemic, everything.
Yeah.
So they put them on birth control in order to lighten up the cycle.
I've just heard so many horror stories from birth control. I don't know if I'm a fan of birth control.
I've never, like, I was on birth control actually in almost 3 months my entire life. And I was one of those women with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And birth control actually made me so sick, I just couldn't do it anymore. And my menstrual cycles were so crazy that I wound up having a hysterectomy later on in life.
Wow. Yeah, I had an IUD and had to have it surgically removed. It went through the uterine wall and they had to get it out my back.
Yeah,
So
man.
they had to go in through
It's
my
exper-
stomach
it's
and my side.
experiments.
Just to
And this
get
is
it
what
out.
people are introducing to their children?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, the HPV shot, you know, they're introducing it to boys and girls at the age of, I think it's like 10? I think
Really?
It starts as early as 10.
10 in HPV. And, you know, it's like, but there's no proven reason to give a child an HPV shot.
Especially a little boy.
A little boy.
Yeah.
But that's how women get it though, is through
Through sexual
we
contact.
don't show symptoms of HPV,
Right.
but we can pass it to
Right.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, as HPV goes on. Sorry. But as HPV goes on, you know, it's like, who's having sex at 7? Who's having sex at 10? To be, you know, it's going to be their first partner. So do they automatically have HPV? And they're trying to do this in schools as well. When they're giving the immunization shots, they automatically say, well, let's give them an HPV. And a lot of these parents don't know. And they're introducing some other foreign chemical into their child.
I think it's happening though. I think these children are having sex that young. I mean, I don't know about 7 or 8 years old, but I think
But not multiple partners.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think it's
Hell know what I was doing at 14. So I mean,
if she was doing it at 14, I would think that someone like the way technology has advanced, I would think somebody's doing it at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old now.
I don't think that.
Shit, man, these kids got cell phones. What else are they talking about?
What's the earliest that you've known a girl to start her cycle?
9. Yeah, about 9.
So I would say at least at that age.
Yeah, see, my daughter's 11, and she started hers right when she turned 11.
This may be a crazy question, but does that do something mental? Like, does that produce some kind of sexual thoughts when a woman's menstrual cycle starts?
I don't think it produces sexual thoughts, but I think they start to discover their body a little bit more because now they're having to actually touch their body.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's growing up, I know a lot of moms that did not let their daughters, you know, use tampons. And because, you're a virgin and you're no longer a virgin using tampons. But, you know, I don't have an issue with my daughter using tampons because she's still a kid. She wants to go swimming with her friends. She wants to, you know, participate in sport activities. And you can't do it in a pad. I mean, it's the truth.
It's a good talk, man. Because I didn't know these things. I mean, I don't have any daughters or sons for that sake. But yeah, I think people need to know.
Well, but it goes back to a lot of parents don't teach their kids this stuff, and they're afraid to teach them. You know, I had this talk with my mom. My mom was very open with me when I was younger. And she was like, well, you know, your grandma, she never taught us about how to put a pad on. She just handed it to us through the door when we first started. And back then it was put a pad on with, you know, them elastics that hold up the socks.
Jesus
Yeah.
Damn, was that big?
You strap those
Yeah, it's like a diaper almost.
Yeah, you strap those on, and you know, and that's what you wear.
You ever seen the
Went
hospital
up like
pad?
a one piece. On your shoulders. That's
body
crazy.
shape.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you know, that's what gives. That's why I think a lot of women do get their mental power because they've gone through a lot
On their own.
because you know there was nobody out there teaching them, and you know, so it's like you're not being taught, so you develop this, you know, this power of who you are as a woman in order to continue to, you know, mentally make it through.
That's interesting. We didn't have to deal with anything like that. I think I
Y'all
was
don't have
probably.
to deal with nothing.
Yeah, we gotta go through puberty. I think I was probably about 13 when.
He said, "Yeah, we."
They don't even compare.
No, I don't know. No, it's not a competition. What I'm saying is, we also have to experience puberty.
Tell us what I mean.
Like, what do you guys go through? Like,
We gotta. Ejaculation.
Speaking,
What is it?
speaking, voice.
Oh yeah, our voice. I didn't go through that. I always
your voice didn't crack.
I always had a manly deep voice.
We didn't listen. We don't listen
You was
to
that baby that came out.
Yeah, I was born like this. But it was a time where, so I started masturbating early. Like,
Okay.
sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but 7, 8, 9 years old, I was.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
But you started having sex early too.
That's
I got oral sex early.
Okay, yeah.
Not vaginal. So, but I wasn't coming. Like I would, like, it felt good, but I wasn't actually, like, no fluid was coming out. And I think, yeah. I think I was about 13 when I first had fluid that came out of my penis.
What was your reaction?
I knew it was coming. Like on my 13th birthday, fam. No,
Literally.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. Yeah, like at my 13th birthday, that was like my rites to, what's it called? A rites to passage. Or,
yeah.
or that was my, you know, Jewish people go through their bar mitzvah. That was my entering into manhood. Like I knew at 13, I set up my day so that I could masturbate and I could see sperm come out, and it didn't. It didn't on that day. So, but eventually it started coming in. So we got to go through that. And
You also had premature erections.
I don't remember the first time that I did it.
But
I can't remember this, and only because we went to the concert last night. And I was gonna tell you, you remember the Maya and Silk video?
Yeah.
That was probably the first video or
That you had
thing
sex
that I masturbated to.
Really?
Maya in that little cheerleading outfit. And then there was one scene there, if you pause it just right, you get that whole backside. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember. So if you figure out whenever that video was released, that was probably the first time for me.
Wow.
And Kenny, what would you say? Premature.
I think I was like
Erection?
12 when they came out.
Yeah.
So I was 15.
Like when the teachers call you up front and your dick is hard, and you don't want to go up front because you got to stand in front of the class with your dick sticking out.
I haven't had that problem.
You never hit it, bro?
Hell
Had that.
no. I mean, it got hard in class, but I wouldn't call it.
That's like,
It's okay now.
that's okay because the whole gray sweatpants movement. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you got little kids coming to school in gray sweatpants and they like.
Gray sweatpants went in when we was in
And
school.
I'm like.
We had those track pants that was.
Swish wash pants.
Parachute pants.
Is it are chicks into the dick tent or the dick print? I think it's the print that matters, though, not the tent. If you have an erection, it's gonna protrude out.
I think it's more so the print now.
Yeah, I don't think it's the tent. But I was always a smooth player. I ain't never had no.
Listen,
I
I
didn't
was
get no
at
erections like that.
Walmart and there was this dude walking down the aisle. Oh my God. Like I ran to the other side just to look at him coming through. His stuff was like all the way down to his knees. And I'm sitting up there like, who the fuck are you fucking?
Is that what you want?
No. But it was like I have never seen.
It's like he
a
gonna hit you
penis
from the
that
back and
big.
puncture
It's
a
more
lung
like
or
you're in
something,
awe.
like-
Right.
Yeah, it's more like,
but I was
not like
thinking-
I want that, but more like,
Like, dang,
Look
did you
at it.
see that?
Right. That's why I was like, did you see that? I was with somebody. I'm not gonna say her name, but I was with somebody, and I was like, did you see that? So we like walked around and stuff.
Go see it again.
To go see it again. It was like a sideshow to us. But I had never seen. We were like, he put something in his pants for real. Just to
I
get
bet that's a
attention.
hard life, man. To have
is,
something like
gotta
that.
be.
But
Yeah, I wouldn't even want it.
my
to be.
biggest thing
Yeah.
was like he's getting no ass at all
Because he's too
big.
big.
For real.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
mean
That's the
anal,
hard
right?
part.
No.
Or you mean just like
It ain't
period?
Just period.
Yeah.
He ain't getting no pee. He ain't getting no butt. No nothing.
I think
Let me
chicks
just
talk,
stick
you
the
know,
head
be,
in.
you know.
I mean, it can only go so far anyway.
This much.
So,
That's it.
Yeah,
Let
back
me
by
just
then
stick
you
the
all the way
head
in your
in.
ribs and got bruises and shit on the inside.
I couldn't hear
Yeah,
you.
I've been curious just to touch it.
That was way too big for me.
No, because I wouldn't want him getting no ideas.
So
No,
right,
sir.
that's sensual touch.
So to the women, I mean, I don't want to drag this out too long, but does size matter?
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
A real woman
I
would
coulda
tell you
answered
size
that
does
question.
not matter.
It
The
doesn't
immature
matter.
women be like, yeah, I want a big one, but for what?
But then
Because they gonna bypass so many of the other stuff that, you know.
Right. Because you can have a good
That's
man
right.
that doesn't.
Give me some on that.
There are a lot of good men out there who aren't, super huge, but they know what they're doing.
Right.
So as long as they know what they're doing, and even if they jabbing just the side and it's feeling good, it is what it
It
is.
has to be something between small and
It's
super huge, though.
it's-
There has to be something in between there. I would think. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there are good sized penises that are, well to work with.
But they still got to know what they're doing.
Right, they gotta
gotta
know
know
what
what
they're doing, but it all comes down to chemistry. Because if y'all don't have
I do
that
agree with that.
chemistry,
It ain't gonna be nothing.
it's not. And it's
For a
not-
woman, anyway.
Right.
You know, men can go fuck anything and call it a day.
Stop.
Exactly.
Stop. That's not true.
Exactly.
That's not true. Stop. I had this conversation the other day. It's not. I haven't had a vagina that stood out over another one. It wasn't like, oh man, her vagina was so, oh that was a fire shot, or they've all pretty much lined up to me. They were pretty much like,
What?
yeah. I haven't had a vagina that was like hands down better than the next one.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, but there are women who know how to work their stuff.
What made it better? Marco, I see you shaking your head like you have after Kenny said he has. So what made it better?
Man, I just.
You're trying to make sure you get the right words.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the right words.
He feel my eyes on him.
I think obviously the wetness, but that could just be based off of the mood that she's in at that time, you know.
But you could get a good KY and go.
Yeah, you know, and I hope it wasn't that.
But is it so much? Is it the mental that's better, or the actual physical vagina that's better?
I don't think it's the physical, really.
I think
That's what I'm saying.
Unless, well, I say this. Unless it's somebody that's like absolutely loose. Then that ain't. I can tell the difference in that.
They not doing it right because women know how to tighten their stuff up.
Yeah.
Yes, they know how to tighten it up.
Yes.
And I've never.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off.
they know how to tighten it up, and then there's women who have, you know, given vaginal birth and versus C-sections, and so they stuff is pretty, you know, intact. So they got some pretty good stuff if they know what they're doing.
The smell is more important to me than
Yes.
Sin.
Amen.
please,
Yes.
you know,
Wow.
take care of your stuff down there. You know, just take care of that.
Just gushing out. That's all.
Yeah, take care of it. 'Cause
What
I
about
think
the
that's-
puffy? See, to me, I ain't gonna get in your conversation, but if a woman has a puffy vagina and it's just,
This
mean
is
it's fat?
Ken, the owner
Puffy.
and engineer.
this is you know the softness, they said the moistness.
So are you talking about like a
tightness.
fupa? Is
A
it
fupa.
a fupa?
A fupa.
What's that?
Fupa.
What's that?
No, I don't think that's what he's talking about. I think he's just saying it's just a fat pussy for real.
If it's a fat one, it's just grabbing
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
It's
It's
just
grabbing you more.
It's grabbing more.
It sucks you in, huh? I hear you,
I'm
brother.
getting sucked in.
I hear you. No, I've never had.
That's true power.
I've never, you know it. That's funny. I've never had a vagina. I was like, golly, this is what they've been talking about. Like, they've all pretty much, and I've had my fair share of vagina in my life. I just haven't had one that was like hands
stood
down
out.
better than, I couldn't pick it out of the Pepsi lineup. Or, you know, if I gave it the Pepsi challenge, I couldn't pick it out of a lineup. Like, yeah, that one right there is the one. You know.
So if
I think it's a lot that goes into it, though. I don't
Let's
think
talk
it's
about
just.
it.
Yeah, I don't think it's just that. I mean,
It's mental for me. I've had amazing sexual connections mentally,
Yeah.
and it made the experience better. But it wasn't like the vagina was just firmer or tighter or wetter, or, you know, it just wasn't anything that was like, this separates this woman from this woman.
There's
Right.
depth too. There's women who have deeper vaginas.
yeah, and I think that's
That
important.
fulfill as well. Yeah.
I think that's definitely important.
I'm one of those women. My vagina walls are actually a lot deeper. My gynecologist pointed that out.
Damn.
And so,
Damn.
but I think
Too damn.
Let's see that.
Let's talk about it.
you know, having my pap smear, that, you know, he was like, well, you do have a deeper vagina than most women, and I'm like,
Is that
what-
appropriate? Like, why the hell did he say that?
What is
Right.
Well, because it kind of, when you're doing the exam.
Shout out to her
they-
gynecologist.
They have that little tool that they put into you, and it
Opens
pops
it.
it open.
They had to get another one for you?
No, he had to
They
push
went and
it
got a
on.
car jack. They just start jacking it up.
You set yourself up for this one, boy.
They call AAA. Roadside.
You know it.
Oh,
Nah, we're a little road.
But he told me, because he had to push it in a little bit deeper, and he's like, I'm not trying to hurt you, but we do have to push a little bit deeper, and I, you know, just to shine the light in there to see all the additional stuff.
Is it a cause for that? Because I'm gonna be honest,
It's
I've, you know, did my share of, you know, fingering and things like that, and one particular time, man, my whole hand got in there.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, man, where the walls at? And this was the first time I even realized a such thing as, you know, they've said before, like, women don't have walls. So, I mean, if that's the case, I feel like this is what it felt like. It
well,
was
I
almost like
I
that.
don't have a uterus.
It was almost like,
So that makes sense.
you know,
That
the
makes
beginning of the
sense.
Star Wars, or
my
the end of Star Wars, and it's like the black with the stars, and
text?
that's all you see.
Oh,
That's kind of
we
what
gonna vote
it.
you
That's
out
kind
right
of
now.
what it was like. You know, it was just, you know, in there,
just kept
and
going.
I didn't feel nothing.
Damn.
I didn't feel nothing.
So you was up to the elbow?
I didn't feel, nah. At least my whole hand, though. At least my whole hand.
So women, so that's an interesting. So fisting, have you do? I mean, I guess just straight
So
out. So
I've heard of it, and I've seen.
You
I've
crazy.
Seen
You wild,
it,
boy.
But I've never experienced it.
I haven't
No.
experienced that either.
fisting?
No.
Man, it be some chicks that be into it.
Really?
Yeah. Is it?
Who wants to fuck
Right,
after that? Who wants to
right.
fuck after that?
What do you?
You didn't stretch this shit open. Now you're gonna push it in there. It's like, cause my hand is a lot bigger than my dick. I wasn't able. So I'm like,
Mine's 2. You're not alone.
But that's the amazing thing about women is that we do have some snapback in that area.
It'll come back. I've never done it. I've watched it on porn, like
Okay.
a couple times. But yeah, some chicks are into that, man. They are.
No, that's
I
not.
don't think
interest-
I could.
No, that's
To the
not.
wrist.
interest- That's not an interest to me.
Because if you stick your fist in my shit, we fighting.
Right. Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. What's the point? What is the point?
You gotta push your limits.
isn't that what the Italians do when they?
That's where that came from.
Sorry, nobody can see me, but yeah.
That's where that came from, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't experience that or even. No.
So yeah, so back to you, Mark. What was the outcome? So you had your whole hand inside of this woman, and what y'all do after that?
And that was like the foreplay thing. So that was just
Damn.
kind of like,
Right.
Sheesh.
So she didn't get.
You know that. No, I was thinking to the shoulder, boy. Damn.
you know,
Twist
so
your hand.
I mean,
Might as well just crawl in
You know
there.
that.
Is it?
I don't even know honestly if she realized she was that deep. Maybe she didn't know. You know,
Oh, she knew.
do women fist themselves?
But we know what we got.
So
We know what we got.
well, she didn't tell me. She should have told me.
But did you open your hands? Did you open your hands and go like this?
Man, honestly I did because I felt like it's like almost. How can I explain it? A dark room, going in trying to find something, and you don't know where it's at.
Damn.
So you're going around like this. it's kind of like that.
Man, you was with a mutant. No, that wasn't even a real human being. That's crazy.
Shout out to Louisville, Kentucky.
Did you all have sex after that, though? Did y'all have sex after that?
Yeah. Because I mean, it wasn't like I was down there doing that forever.
So
that
he
was just kind of like.
That's
sidestepping
like
the
some shit
whole.
you gonna fall in. Like,
You know
if
that.
it's that deep.
Shit.
Well,
He was sidestepping, hitting the side. That's it.
it was a shock to me, and this probably was the first time I actually said it to anybody else. So,
Thanks for sharing that, man.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Marco, man. I appreciate that. That's yeah, I've never had anything like that, but I've had one where I feel like I wasn't doing anything. Like, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I've had one down where I felt like, man, I don't feel like I'm making
Too
no
wet.
noise.
It was too wet. Too loose. Too soft.
Yeah. I mean,
But
whatever.
you slide your body to the side, hit them corners. You know what I'm saying? Just let me shut up.
No,
So what about like double penetration? You know?
that ain't for me. I wouldn't want to. That's for real contact with another dude. Like, if you're double penetrating, you are on this. You're touching this dude at some
unless
point.
you use a dildo.
Yeah, I mean, something like that would be cool. But
Right,
if you
right.
like double penetration, like 2 men and 1 woman, I wouldn't want to.
Can it be the mouth and the pussy? One
No.
be up top, one down
No.
bottom.
DP is ass and vagina.
Really?
But
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about double
Okay.
penetration in a vagina because you guys are talking
2 dicks in
about
1
sex.
vagina?
Yeah.
Shit, nah.
Because you're talking
I'm
about
not doing it. It's too close.
Yeah, that I don't want to. You're
I
literally
don't-
touching the
There-
penis.
there
I don't
are
want
some
him to like it that much.
There's some women out there that are into that, and
Yeah.
you know, you're talking about the vagina being, enlarged. So with
What's
it
the
being
word? Elastic.
elastic.
It's very it's a lot of elasticity.
The elasticity is gone.
Right.
So it had to be something there in order to make it that way.
2 dicks?
That's how the women keep some men,
No, I wouldn't.
That's why the
Right.
show is called The Kink.
No, that's some crazy wild sex, dog. If y'all in there, if I walked in and saw something like that, man, I ain't cracking up. No, man, that'd be a crazy thing to walk in on. But no, I wouldn't take part in that. 2 penises and 1 vagina at the same time?
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
That's crazy.
Listen, I couldn't do it.
Not about that life.
So, time for the
So
plugs.
yeah, so we are gonna wrap up. Thank you for joining the Kink Talking Dirty After Dark. We were really talking dirty after dark. And thank you to our guests, Marco and Adrian. We enjoyed you guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're gonna expect you guys on another show because we want to hear them.
Right, we got some goodies because we didn't even talk about the threesome, but we'll say that for next time.
And then having sex around the kids, you know, if that's okay,
Shit.
We'll
We're gonna have a part 2
Yes,
next
yes,
weekend.
yes. So please visit our email if you would like to be a guest on the show. It's the Kink podcast at yahoo.com. And also, I am a shirt designer, so visit me at Escobar_clothing1 and just order shirts, or if you have a design you'd like, please let me know. And be blessed.
So, yes, so I take amazing pictures. So, any kind of events that you all have going on, whether it be models, weddings, just whatever the case may be, you can follow my Instagram page FOUR Studios. Leave me a message. It's also a link to my website, westmorelandarts.com. Any kind of inquiries you may have, you can leave your contact information. My pricing is on there. Reach out to me. My personal page is Westblade, WESTBLADE. Reach out to me.
Do you guys have anything you want to talk about before we go?
No, we don't have any business, but I do want to say, just support black businesses. Also, with everything that's going on,
We black.
with the with the police killings and everything like that. So just want to say to make sure that we just doing the right thing out there, and sticking by each other. A lot of times,
For sure.
we talked about this earlier prior to the show, is that black people as a whole, we always going at against each other. But now is the time for us to just kind of unite and just be with each other, stick with each other. Prayers to Miss Jefferson and her family and
sure.
Everything that they went through. I just think that's important, just kind of to get that out there and just make sure we just sticking by each other as black people.
And one more thing I forgot to mention, BUS and myself will be hosting some parties that are coming up soon, so please keep a lookout on the Kink Podcast Instagram page and for all those updates. And thank you for joining us.
Make sure we get invited to the party too. We ain't heard nothing about no party.
Andrew, that's good.
I didn't have that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So,
It's cool.
Yes, but please keep a lookout for the parties, and thank you for joining us on the Kink Talking Dirty After Dark with Miss Esco and BUS. You guys have a blessed night.
peace.